G'day, it's Paul here from Small Crown Productions. Welcome to the Business of Art. This is a bit of an ad hoc episode. This is a bit of a rant about the power of networks, because this weekend I have had the most kind of incredible experience and I didn't expect it to happen. About 16 months ago, a friend of mine from the United States sent me a message. Now, we had met about 5 years ago. I am part of an international medieval society, and as part of that society we fight, and the society has the world broken up into 20 kingdoms. Australia and New Zealand is one of those kingdoms. And for a very long time I have been trying to win a tournament, a specific tournament that happens every 6 months. And if you win that tournament, you become king. Now, I fought 21 of these tournaments. I came second 5 times. It was pretty frustrating until one day in New Zealand, I finally threw the winning blow that won me my very first crown tournament. And within a couple of months, I was made king of Australia and New Zealand. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it's a freaking fun hobby, and I totally recommend that to anyone. That led us to go to the largest event that our society has in the world, which is in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, in the United States, and gets over 10,000 people on site every year, except last year. Maybe this year, fingers crossed. But that particular year, there were over 10,000 people on site. There were 1,600 fighters per side on the warfield. So that's over 3,000 fighters rushing down to attack each other on the warfield. It was an unbelievable experience. And at that event in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, I met Nancy Allen. Now, Nancy Allen was queen of a different kingdom. She and my wife struck up a bit of a friendship. Her and her husband became friends of ours over the course of that event. They are amazing people. And we didn't think much of it. You know, we met them, we thought they were amazing, and then we left. 2 years later, I win crown tournament again, and we head into our second reign as king and queen. So we head over to the event again. And who do we meet? But we get to reinforce our friendship with the two of them. And so since then, which has now been 4 years, I think, since our second reign, we have messaged back and forth on Facebook Messenger, and mostly my wife and Nancy Allen, to be honest. To be quite frank, it's been mostly them. Because I'm terrible at maintaining communication with anybody. Let's be honest, I'm horrendous. But about 16 months ago, Nancy Allen sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Sydney. We'd love to catch up with you guys. Would you love to come and meet us?" And we're like, hell yes, we'll buy a ticket to Sydney and fly down. We live in Brisbane. It's only a few $100s each way. Not even, it's a few $100 total to get there and back. 100% we will fly to Sydney and meet you guys and catch up and have an amazing weekend. And then she said, well, if you're willing to come to Sydney, would you be willing to judge at the pageant that I am there for? And I'm like, pardon? She said, I'm there for a beauty pageant and I'd love you to judge. I think you'd be amazing. And I'm like, why? She said, oh, you're artistic. Anyway, whatever reasons. She thought I was good for the job, and I'm like, well, how often are you going to get the opportunity to judge at a pageant? So of course I said yes. Of course I said I'd do it. What else am I going to say? So after 20 years plus, almost 25 years in a medieval society, after 21 crown tournaments, finally winning one, this bizarre opportunity presents itself because of somebody I met in the United States that allowed me to fly to Sydney, which is where I am right now, in Sydney, and become a judge at the Miss Australia New Zealand Oceania World Pageant. Such a mouthful. Sorry, it takes me a bit to get out. Now, first of all, let me say, it has blown me away with what I thought pageants were and what pageants actually are. It's not Miss Congeniality. There's a lot of that, let's be honest. There is a lot of that. But this pageant particularly is positioned as a pageant with purpose. So Robbie Canner, who is the lady that set this pageant up, this is its inaugural year. She's been trying to get this off the ground for 18 months. She won the Ms. World pageant at 61. And I didn't know that there was a pageant for people over 12 and 22. So there is pageants out there that are designed for older women, and she won the Ms. World pageant at 61 years old. And let me tell you, she is a freaking powerhouse. So after that experience, and I'm going to try and just get in touch with her again and have a chat with her, because her story of what happened to her after she won the pageant, of being flown to New York and getting off a plane from New York and then getting rushed straight to a Channel 7 studio for a TV broadcast, just insane story, insane. So the opportunity to meet her through this friend that we created, through this hobby that we had, has been fantastic. But I want to say that this pageant is, it's nothing short of inspirational, really. There were close to 30 women who were vying for the title of, pageant queen, whatever it's called. I'm not quite sure that that's right. But every single one of those women have an amazing purpose that they are working towards. So many of them have been victims of domestic abuse and are working to try and make sure that's not something that other women have to go through. Many of them from different cultures are stepping out to speak out against cultural oppression of women in their communities. There is just so much amazing work being done. And it was such a humbling experience to be exposed to that. So I am really grateful for this opportunity that I had to fly down here and be a part of this. It's just mind-blowing. So I've had an incredible experience. I've had the opportunity to be exposed to the vision and mission of so many incredible women who, in all honesty, would normally be unsung heroes. You would never hear about them. You would never know what it is they're doing. But this pageant, this thing that is generally thought of in the context of the Miss Congeniality movie and those sorts of things, is creating an opportunity for them to have a platform to speak louder. And I think that that is important. Now, I would never have been exposed to this had I not maintained that network and that connection with people that we met in a bizarre, weird kind of hobby that we do. But I just want to say, you don't know where your connections may lead. Please, for the love of all that is good, stay open, stay focused on what it is that you try and achieve, and be humble with the people around you so that they feel like you are someone worth connecting with, so that you can be exposed to opportunities that might completely blow your mind and take your ability to talk about your platform, your work, your art as a creative person to a level that you might never have expected. There are people that I met, other judges and other people at this function, that are in leagues that I would never have had an opportunity to meet except for this opportunity. stay open to what is there. It's mind-blowing what could happen. Bit of a rant. I'm pretty tired, so this may have come off a little bit kind of from left field, but I just think it's so important to be the person that people want to work with, because you never know where that opportunity might lead. Please don't be a douchebag. Please be the person that people want to work with, even if right now it leads to nothing. Who would have thought 5 years after meeting somebody as part of my hobby that I might get connected to be able to take a part in an event, something like this, and actually meet some people who might be able to take my career and my journey and my mission and my vision to a whole new level. It's unbelievable. Stick with it. Be open. Don't be a douchebag. That's probably it. That's about it from me anyway. I've got to go to bed. I've got a 6 a.m. flight, so I'm checking out. But thank you for listening to me rant. I'll see you on the next